Hello and welcome. Chairman of the Sovereign Council Al Burhan reiterated his firm rejection of any negotiations with the militia, saying, "We will not sit with them and we will not say, let's forget what happened." He made any negotiations conditional on the rebellions gathering in one location and then deciding on their fate. This came during a funeral service for the martyrs Lieutenant Colonel Hassan Ibrahim and the National Television Director Farouk Al-Zuhair in Gadarif yesterday. Al-Burhan considered Lieutenant Colonel Hassan and his group to have sacrificed their life so the Sudanese could enjoy security and stability, and thank God for the victories in the liberation of the palace. He pointed that the support of known forces for the rebellions called on the Sudanese to take firm stance with the supporting countries, even if the current leadership leaves. The official spokesman for the Sudanese Armed Forces, Brigadier General Nabil Abdullah, said that the armed forces stormed the Khartoum airport and forced militia members to flee the site. The armed forces also achieved further victories last night, eliminating hundreds of militia members who attempt to escape through pockets in central Khartoum. They also tightened their control over Zain Building, the Central Bank of Sudan, the Sahel and Sahara Bank, the Cooperative Tower, Al Bayan College, the National Museum, the University of Sudan, and the Friendship Hall. The Federal Republic of Somalia welcomed the Sudanese Armed Forces recapture of the Republican Palace in Khartoum, considering it an important step toward strong Sudan sovereignty and strengthening its security. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Coordination or Cooperation affirmed Somalia's support for Sudan's unity and stability, praising the great sacrifices made by the Sudanese people and their armed forces in order to achieve security and stability. The armed forces thwarted an attack launched by the militia on Al-Malha on Thursday, killing more than 93 militia elements, including permanent leaders headed by the commander, Colonel Isa Al-Hafiz Farah, with 77 others wounded. 4 combat vehicles, including an armored vehicle, were also destroyed. The 6th Infantry Division confirmed that Al-Malha is under the control of the armed forces after thwarting the militia's attempt to regain control of the southern axis. In a meeting yesterday chaired by Khartoum Governor Ahmed Osman, the Khartoum State Security Committee condemned the militia's targeting of citizens in residential neighborhood, which claimed dozens of lives. The state confirmed that the shelling is still ongoing as a desperate attempt by the militia to justify its defeats. The committee ordered the suspension of public gatherings, prayers in mosques, and group iftars to protect citizens' life in light of these conditions. Top UN official on Friday condemned ongoing violence in Gaza and the occupied West Bank, urged all parties to re-participate international humanitarian and human rights law, and called for an immediate ceasefire and the resumption of aid deliveries in Gaza. During a meeting to the Security Council, the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Sigrid Kaag, also condemned the expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. London's Heathrow Airport resumed full operation on Saturday, a day after a fire knocked out its power supply and shut Europe's busiest airport, causing global travel chaos. Some flights were cancelled or delayed as the travel industry scrambled to reroute passenger and fix pattered airline schedule after the huge fire at the electrical substation serving the airport. Resumed flight had begun on Friday evening, but the shuttering of the airport for most of the day left tens of thousands searching for hotel room or replacement seats. Operations were normal on Sunday morning, but the airline were still delaying with the aftermath. This was your today's news by Sniper TV. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.